good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Miss Fin Show. I am your host, Miss Fins. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. Thank you. Really do appreciate you guys. You know what I'm going to say, you know what I'm going to ask. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let everybody else know we are live today. It's not even yet. So cold. I'm a Floridian, and I will still complain. Anything below 72 is freezing. So there you have it, people. But hit that like button, guys. Hit the like button. We have a awesome show for you guys. Obviously, you've seen an interview. We've got an awesome opportunity over here again to talk to Nik Needham's mom, Shannon Needham. It's going to be great. I'm going to be bringing her up in just a little bit, guys. So thank you so much for coming through. Hit that like button for us. As always, public service announcement. Let's keep it clean, ladies and gentlemen. Debate your little hearts, but remember to debate the opinion, be kind to each other. Thank you very much, guys. Just think PBS Kids. As well as remember to, you can become a member, ladies and gentlemen. That's a great way for you to support the channel besides hitting the like button and subscribing. You can also become a member. And shout out to all of the members who do support the channel who are here. Thank you guys for being so awesome. Really do appreciate it. Also, too, guys, remember you can find Miss Fins Monday through Friday, every single Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern, throughout the season. Thank you. And as always, we win together, we lose together. Dolphins for life. So, without further ado, guys, thank you so much. And help me welcome once again Miss Needham, Miss Shannon Needham.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Good
And
morning.
by the way, it's
Uh,
5 a.m. here. I'm on West Coast. So good morning.
I good super morning. Thank you.
Super good morning. Yes. And happy Football Friday.
Yeah,
Can you
exactly,
hear me?
man. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank God it's Friday, end of the week.
Yeah.
Yep,
TGIF.
we are good to go. Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
Awesome.
Okay.
Yep. I can hear you.
Cool.
Guys, let's get a fins up. Yes, I don't care if we can't use it anymore. Let's get a fins up, guys. Let's get a fins up if you can hear both of us. Absolutely, yes. She's in the West Coast, ladies and gentlemen. Last time she was here, she was
Absolutely.
getting ready to move back home because they are. In case you didn't know, the Needhams are from California, which I actually didn't know.
We
I was like, oh my God, that's so cool. So,
we
yes,
sure
she
are.
is in California. You see that? You see the jersey in the back. Look at that beautiful jersey.
What? What? This
Exactly.
one?
See?
It's my
Yeah.
Nick's kitchen. My whole kitchen is Nick pictures, Nick jerseys, Nick football. I've got his I don't know if we can see this. I'm not good at aiming, but it's his first
It's football.
intercepted
Yep, I see it.
first intercepted football. That was against the Colts. He gave that to me for Christmas that year. It was really sweet.
Oh,
I
that's
know,
so
so cute.
awesome. Oh my
I know.
God.
It was
That's
a very
so
my
cool.
favorite present of all time. It was very cute.
Well, probably
So
second favorite because I'm sure he's your first.
yeah, actually, he is my first. So that's true.
Exactly.
But anyway, yeah. And by the way,
Okay,
it
awesome.
rained.
Well, you know what? Let's go ahead.
I was gonna say it rained like crazy here last night. It was actually hailing here in San Clemente, like hitting my window. I don't
Really?
even know what's going on with. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the weather here. It's crazy.
Like, how cold is it there right now?
I mean, it's not that cold in perspective. I mean, it's only about in the 50s, but for California, I live right across the street from the beach. And it's generally usually in like the high 60s here, low 70s, which is pretty normal. But last night, I mean, it was like buckets were being poured on my house. It was pretty crazy. Lots of rain. We needed it though. We welcome rain here.
Oh no, for us it's two. Anything below 70, it's like it's freezing. I literally got a blanket, two jackets right behind me, and I had to like take them off this morning. I'm like, no, I can't look too much like a Floridian. So, because it's
Too much.
cold. It's like 58 right now.
Oh boy. Are we on a delay on this?
hmm
We are on
I
a
think
delay.
so. I'm trying to see, man. I think so, yeah, because I think I have too many
Better
too
close
many
some of those
things
websites you've been
open
trolling.
right now. So let me see if I can close this puppy. I don't need none of this other stuff. Yeah. Hey, listen, I gotta do my research. You know what I mean? So, hence
Gotcha.
the 80 million windows
That's all
I
right. It's all
have
good.
open. Okay, we should be much better now because I definitely had too many. Okay,
Okay.
so ladies and gentlemen, yes, as we were saying, because last time Miss Needham was over here. We had such a great time. We talked about, Nick's background and how he was growing up with his football. We got to get the point of view of the mom. Also, kind of like a cool insight about the players, how they actually do hear us, They are
Yep.
humans, people, and we got it confirmed.
Absolutely.
So with that, I wanted to go ahead and talk to her because it's been kind of crazy with a million reports coming up. I mean, I showed you guys yesterday. I dropped a video yesterday. I'm like, "Is Vic Fangio exposed?" Literally, I was having a little too much fun with this little button. Exposed, like, just to go with it. Too much, but hey, perspective, and then mostly also the perspective of what does a NFL player does after the season's over. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I want to see here. So let her rip.
Well, that's a loaded question. I mean, we could talk about a lot of things here. First of all, I want to make something really, really clear. The Fangio thing, in my eyes, is over. It's that whole situation's in the past. The season's in the past. They're doing their due diligence right now to hire the best possible DC. Rightly so. I'm really confident knowing who the coaches are and knowing a lot about the coaches. I mean, Mike McDaniel is a very, very, very smart man. That guy is a smart man, and he uh, he and the staff will make the right choice going forward. They learned a hard lesson this season. Let's just put it that way. They learned a hard lesson, and all around the organization, not just with the coach himself, but also with paying attention to a particular division um, on the team, listening to players, reading players' actions and their attitudes and their what's going on, body language. Because what happens, I mean, just like in life, when you experience a situation where you're not happy with someone, you're not happy with them, and I'm not talking about, oh, I don't like that guy, or oh, I just don't like him. It's not that. These guys are playing for their lives. This is their
Hmm.
livelihood. They have worked their entire lives putting their bodies out there, bashing their bodies around. Every player on that team, I guarantee you, wants to win. So their heart and soul is in it. Now, towards the end of the season, if you don't see that type of energy and that type of excitement and that type of drive, there's a lot of things that go into that. First of all, it's the end of the season. A lot of guys are beat up and they're tired. They're sore. They're not performing like they would at the beginning of the season. That kind of stuff happens. That happens with every team. I've watched it for the last, almost 20 years and watching football very closely. So that happens. But the other thing is when players start getting disgruntled based on what they're seeing and they're not seeing changes being made or the adjustments that are necessary to win. To win, these guys want to win. Um, that affects the mental. That affects the mentality. Not only they're not in the position to be at their highest level of performance, but they're not in a position to win. They're also you know might be feeling that they're not being heard, and that all of that stuff can affect their mental. So this is a much bigger picture than I think a lot of people realize. It's not just a matter of, oh, Coach Fangio was such, he's always been a great coach. Maybe so, maybe at another team, but he didn't do that job here. He didn't do the job here. The players knew it. All of us fans knew it. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what was going on down there. I mean, I'm not saying that as a biased parent. I want everybody to be very, very clear on something. Let me just, for the record, just put this out there because it's really important that everybody knows this. I'm not just a football mom. I am a huge football fan. I am a huge football fan. I love football. I know football. I've been watching football since Nick was 8 years old. Actually, before that, because my dad's a huge football guy and I've been watching it since I was a little kid. But I love football. I love watching it. I love the strategy. I love the wins, the losses, everything. I mean, Nick's college football team, UTEP, went 0-12 and 1-11 his last 2 years. But I went to every single one of those games and screamed my brains out to cheer that team on. You will see me at a Dolphins game. Anybody that sits next to me in the stands at Hard Rock or any of the other stadiums, I'm the loudest person there. And
Yep.
it's all very positive. And I'm cheering for the offense. I'm cheering for special teams. I'm cheering for everybody. And my son wasn't even on the field. And I was still screaming my brains out. That's not a show. This is because I love football. I love cheering for people in life and on the football field. And I'm very passionate about, what's going on with the whole team, not just what's going on with my son. People say, oh, she's just angry because Fangio didn't let her son play. No, that's not it. I watched football with a lot of other very, very smart football people. And they said the same thing. He didn't do his job. He didn't get the job done. So I just want to make that very clear because everything that I say on these podcasts and whatnot, it's not for show. It's because I really love football and I love this team. I love the Dolphins. I love the
You
organization,
care.
the team, and the fan base. So back to Fangio. Yeah, that's in the past. He didn't do his job and he's gone. Mutual agreement, okay, if that's what we want to call it. Okay. In life and in businesses, a lot of people mutually agree to go somewhere else. Okay. That there's a lot that goes into that too. A lot of it has to do with future reputation, getting your next job, negotiation, all of that. So you guys can call it what you will, and people can protect him and defend him. But I'll just say, the guy didn't do his job, and it's on to the next guy. So the Dolphins organization is very interested in winning, despite everybody bashing on Greer and bashing on McDaniel. McDaniel's been there 2 years. We have made the playoffs the last 2 years. When's the last time y'all made the playoffs? It's been a while. It's been a minute, right? So these last two seasons, in
Was,
my
yeah,
in my
since
opinion,
2008.
have been successful. These last two seasons. Was it a Super Bowl or was it a playoff, winner? No, we didn't get there yet. We're getting there though. But all the components have to be there, not just with the players. It has to be with the coaches. And a hard lesson was learned this last season. Adjustments are being made, thankfully, and I think going forward, it's we're going to see a lot of really positive things. Hope that answered that
Yeah,
question.
I noticed that and I appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate it because I've been, you hear the news. I still remember I was shocked the second it happened. I had to run out and I was, oh my God, breaking news. Fangio is out as the DC. Like I did a short and everything. And then I'm like, hearing and I dropped the video yesterday because I'm looking at back to back, like different, different articles that I was reading, different player situation, and even like saying over here,
I'm
you
losing you.
know,
Sorry.
the Dolphin, like Fangio didn't even let his positional coaches say work. So I'm like, okay, so there's already, you can tell there's communication issues with his own staff, communication issues with the players. From what I'm seeing, I don't know if you've seen X, like Twitter, like the players, have been vocal about it. And we've seen Cam Smith, we've seen Javon Holland, even though he tried to backtrack it. We've seen Ramsey, we've seen other players out there kind of express their frustration, and you kind of read it in the different, and even Drew Rosenhaus, he kind of said it. Yeah, players loved him, but there were also other players who were not, that didn't get along with him at all, and the input wasn't there, and that cohesiveness and collaboration with the players wasn't there, and that's when you saw that. Um, they're the players were, I don't want to say disgruntled, but they're clearly unhappy. Not all of them, obviously, because it's never 100%. But they were unhappy. And then on the vice versa, you hear Jaws, well, Jaworski. I have to make sure I say that right. Jaw, aka Jaws, he's out here talking about Fangio and his reputation and things like that, which doesn't negate. I mean, come on, man. This guy has been coaching for over 20 years, has such a level of experience and things like that. It's just his style of football didn't work for what the Dolphins were looking for, which is what I've been telling the fans. It's like they're trying to go in a different direction in this new NFL, which this new
Mhm.
NFL incorporates what the players are saying. Involving
Absolutely.
the different positional cultures and things like that. It's a very collaborative kind of NFL right now that we're
Mhm.
just not used to. We're just used to the hard snow. I'm the coach. You do what I say, and then player execute. Now it's not like
Yeah.
that. Now it's more collaborative, and I guess that's not what we got with Fangio. And then from what I'm hearing, even Drew Rosenhaus said, even in the exit interviews, that it showed that players were not happy, which is why they ultimately, and you can kind of see it in that interview right after the season was over with Greer and McDaniel, when they asked him specifically, "Is Vic Fangio going to be here next year?" And he gave this like giant non-answer, and you were like, but was that a yes or a no? It wasn't committal at all. So that's kind of
Yeah.
where, speculations were already out. So I just thought, I figure, I'm like, I didn't want to be like, I didn't just read into this like too much. Like I felt like I got both sides, and it looks like that's where we're at now. But I do agree with you. The team is definitely focused. They know what kind of guy they want. They want someone
Mhm.
that's young, collaborative, that really is player centric. Kind of like how McDaniel is with the offense, that players coach in the defense too. And that's the new NFL, whether people like it or not. And it looks like that's exactly what they're looking for. So, hey, I gotta agree with
Well,
you.
I
But I
gotta I gotta
appreciate
make a
you.
I gotta make a point on that though. As far
Right.
as I hear a lot of people saying, oh, they probably want to get someone exactly like McDaniel. I don't agree with that. I don't think that's what they're looking for in at all. McDaniel is that guy's a unicorn. He's so unique. He's so smart. He's so different than all the other coaches out there. He is well liked by the players. He is also respected by the players. But you can't have a personality like that amongst the entire coaching staff. I mean, spread across the board. There's an element of I don't know what the word is, seriousness, I guess, that's required. I mean, he's a serious guy, but he's also, you can see, I mean, we all watched Hard Knocks. You can see he's kind of goofing off out there and being buddies with the guys. There's an element of that goes into play. But for football players, from what I've observed and knowing my son, some of the most successful coaches are the ones that are militant, that are hardcore, that are kick your ass, that are tough as nails, that are, demanding and commanding respect, that are out there, So a lot of those older coaches, that's why they've been successful. And so I don't have a problem with any of that, as long as they are making the proper adjustments to win. And the players and all of us who were not surprised when the announcement was made. It didn't surprise me at all. I was like, oh, finally, great. I was surprised that they waited that long, but I understand that there's negotiations and things like that have to take place. But that was not a surprise, and the players, as far as being upset during the season or whatnot. Again, I go back to what I said. The players want to win, and when they see a guy that's in charge not making the right decisions over and over and over and over again, that's not a winning leader. That's not someone who's trying to win. So that's really all I'm going to say about the Fangio situation. I probably said too much already. Like I said, I've put it behind me. I'm super excited about them getting a new DC. I know the guys that express themselves on social media and whatnot, I think that was a celebration for them. Not being in, sometimes they just want to let something out. They may regret it after in the way that they do it, because fans are so critical. Fans are so critical of the players. I love it. I'm being facetious. I think the people that are behind the keyboards and on social media are so critical of these players, and the coaches and the staff. I know, and it's part of the whole fandom. I get that, but in the same token, anything that y'all say on these social media things and everything, those guys, it doesn't affect them as far as their final decision at all. It means zero to them. So people can bitch and moan on Twitter and on Instagram or whatever they want to do. When it comes down to the final decision, they're not doing anything because of what the fans say. They're not doing anything because of what these couch coaches are out there saying, oh, they should have done this and they should have done. No, your voice doesn't matter when it comes to the final decision. It is the organization, it's the players that make these final outcomes. So just know that. So the energy that is expended on bashing people and all that, take that energy and go do something nice for somebody. go feed someone on the street that's homeless, or do something nice. There's a lot of other nice things that people can do.
Well, that's shots fired, people. Shots fired.
Yeah. Ceasefire, whatever.
I love it.
But you asked me also about off season. It is off season now. It's officially off season, especially for the Dolphins. I'll tell you, Nik got home. I can tell you personally what I know. Nik got home last Monday. I picked him up at the airport. He came home. He was here for just the first 2 days, visiting friends, visiting family. And every day since then, he's been working out and training with his personal trainer, his DB coach, his conditioning coach. He works out at a place called The Mark in Costa Mesa, and a lot of NFL players work out there. It's a really cool facility. They're all amongst their peers, so they're all in there working hard. It's not like going to the gym where people are just jerking around and
staring.
not getting it done. Yeah, staring at all the whatever. These guys are in there and they're working. They're working hard. They're helping each other work out. They're getting motivated. They're talking shop. They're talking how their season went. They're looking at videos together. They're doing all that stuff. So that's what off season is like. Nik gets treatment still. He's feeling great, but he still gets treatment on his ankle. His best friend, I think I've mentioned this before, that he went to high school with, happens to play for the Chargers. He's their safety, Jalen Hawkins. And so those two work out every day together. Nik will be working out with Keenan Allen, a bunch of guys from the 49ers. When they're done with their season, they all come down here and work out. So these guys go nonstop. There was no Cancun vacation for Nik. I love how everybody says, oh, they're all Cancun.
It's always the same. Every year it's always the same. But I don't know if you saw the meme about the Bills going to Cancun, and then they put the little upright, but the plane goes wide right.
Oh my god! those do make me laugh. I think they're funny. There's a great element of humor in that, and I think that's fun. But yeah, for a lot of these guys, especially Nik and the guys that are free agents now.
I agree. I know.
Very serious about their training. think I just lost you for a second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I'm back. But that's why I wanted to ask because as fans, we don't know what an NFL player does in the offseason. No matter whether it's contract year, not year, rookie year, whatever. The offseason is obviously a time where rest, recover, obviously. But it's also
Yeah.
cool to kind of get into the mindset as a fan, like what does an NFL player does. So that's why I was asking that
Hmm.
question. What
Yeah.
are they
No, for
typically
sure.
focused in and what they're doing?
It's very similar even to during season. I think I mentioned before, I had the pleasure of staying with Nik for about a month and a half. I don't know that he'll say that that was a pleasure, but I did do all his laundry, by the way, and cooked for him. um, but I got to observe what a day in the life of a NFL player is like, and it's been like that for the last 5 years for him. They are at practice all day long, practice and meetings, lifting, all of that, meetings, and practice. Then he comes home, has a quick bite to eat, and then he's on his iPad watching film for like another 2 hours. He does it every single night. And even though he's home now and it's the off season, like I said, he's doing some intense training. He's still on his iPad all the time or on his phone looking at videos. And it's not Instagram videos for fun. These are videos of guys, his peers playing in games, and he's rewinding them to see their footwork or to see how a quarterback looked or they study nonstop. Most of them do. I know Nik does. So these guys are students of the game. They're very smart football players. They know their X's and O's. It's definitely wise for any coaching staff to listen to their players because the players know how to play.
That's awesome because it's kind of cool to get that like kind of like nugget from the inside. Seeing I'm like wow. So because sometimes as fans we might feel like man these guys you do your job. You only work 17 weeks out of the season, but in reality, to your point, no, this is 365 days because to put your body through the gauntlet of what it is the regular season to then cold
Hmm.
stop and then try to go
Yeah.
back to it. That's when a lot of people get those soft injuries, that
Hmm.
linger. And then it's like, oh my God, this person's not going to be ready for the off season. And so that's cool to see that the players is still, they're still obviously I'm sure they still take a vacation here and there, but it's kind of
Rightly
cool
so.
to see that still
And
focused in the game, still studying, still trying, so on and so forth.
yeah, for sure. I think I'm losing you. Our audio is pretty bad here. I don't know if it's my house or yours, but anyway.
Yeah, it might be mine. It's okay. I think we're playing tennis.
Ah,
Your turn.
okay.
But yeah, but it's okay. It's no problem. It's probably me. It's no big deal. So I guess the other question, and thank you so much for sharing that because that's pretty awesome. I know a lot of people keep asking, is Nick gonna be back next year? I'm like, guys, she can't say nothing like that.
Mm-mm.
That's
Mm-mm.
contracts and negotiations. We're not gonna know fully at the end of the day once the new league year opens up and all that gets happened, then we'll start hearing things here and there. But
Yeah.
no, so stop asking. Like it's the thing.
Yeah, I would love
But
to have the
still, I
answer.
guess
I would love to have the answer for that
go ahead,
right
go ahead.
now. As his family, I mean, I get probably 10, 15 calls, texts a day. Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? Have you heard anything? No, I haven't heard anything. I've given a strict no question rule to all my family members when Nik is around for them not to ask him. Do not ask him. Nik will be the first one to tell me. I'll be the first one to know when Nik finds out. And, whether it's with the Dolphins, which we're hoping. I mean, Nik loves the Dolphins. We all love the Dolphins. We hope that's the case.
We love
Um,
him.
yeah, he really loves his teammates. He loves the whole organization. We're hoping so, but he wants to play. He wants to have a chance to play. there are a lot of defensive coordinators out there that know him and want him, and on other teams. And so that is a factor that goes in this offseason. We'll see what happens. They know what he's capable of, and especially the ones that were questioning, oh, wow, I hope Needham recovered from his Achilles tear a year and a half ago. Well, considering the Dolphins didn't play him that much, they could see, well, he had extra time, even extra time to recuperate and recover. So he's going to be on his A game next season. These guys know that. They know that he's training hard and that he's doing well. So it's kind of like he got a refresher to kind of get his body straight, and it's like he's one of the new recruits out there. So even though he's a veteran, so I'm real happy for him in that respect. He's gotten his body back and his energy back and his strength and his speed. Speed is getting better every day, and he's working on that. So yeah, that's a positive.
Yes, that's awesome. I love that because look, he's always been one of my fans. I don't have to tell you this because you're his mom, but because I actually do like my team and I like the players and I always liked him as one of our DBs. So, but definitely I hear it all the time. Like, we want him back, and especially now with this whole cap situation that we find ourselves. I mean, last time I checked, we were like what negative 51 million. I know there's going to be a lot of guys that we're not going to be able to bring back, and there's going to be some guys that we are going to have to bring in. But then it's like, well, if you got to bring guys in, then you should be able to keep some of the guys that you have. So I know it's going to be a roller coaster
Yeah.
like it is every single off season when it comes to that. But
Yeah.
it's always good to know that at least he still loves the team, still loves to be here, wants to be here because I think for us fans it's like, we want people that want to be here,
Hmm.
because I kind of feel like sometimes I call it the retirement for the NFL, the Dolphins sometimes. I feel like some of these players they come, get a giant paycheck here and then leave after a year or two and it's like I just feel used. Like, can we have somebody that actually wants to be here? So
Well, you know what,
that's what I
too.
love about me.
And someone from the outside, again, as a football fan and someone who loves football and seeing the trajectory of the Dolphins, where they're headed, where they've been, how they did the last couple of years, and where they are definitely headed, it would be wise. And I'm just saying this as someone who's just a business person too, to bring on or keep veterans, especially keep the veterans that you have that have performed and have a record when you're on that trajectory. Because when you bring on even a new veteran from another team, there's a learning curve. There's a learning curve not just with the playbook, there's a learning curve with learning the organization, the city that they're in, that adjustment of getting acclimated to their new environment. There's a learning curve. We don't have time for any learning curves right now. There's no time for that right now. And that goes with coaching staffs. That goes with, there was a learning curve for Fangio. Yeah, that didn't work out. But there's always a learning curve for the players. And despite how much they might know about football, the learning curve can have a huge impact on the win or loss situation.
No, I agree. And no matter who it is, the fact that you're still coming into a new situation, you can have the
Hmm.
raw talent, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna take time because, to your point, as a player, you're gonna have to know the playbook. You're gonna have to get
Hmm.
to know your coworkers, what their
Hmm.
tendencies are. You know what I
Yep.
mean, and then kind of go from there and marry those two things together, so that way you can be productive because they all could play football, but unless you're playing football together, you're not going to be efficient.
Yeah.
So I'm 100% whenever I always say, okay, it's gonna take about 5, 6, 7, maybe even 8 weeks for it to kind of gel together, and then we'll start seeing, how it all works out in the end.
Yeah.
So for me personally, it's the same thing with the players.
Yeah.
We can get the good thing about the veterans that they do have experience. That
Mm-hmm.
they are more plug and play than the rookies, because the rookies or the young players, they don't know any better. They're not gonna know every situation. You know what I mean? Or how
Mm-hmm.
to adjust. The veterans are there, and to me, when you have really quality veterans in your team that know your team, then the level of that learning curve is a lot shorter for the newbies, in my opinion,
Right.
because they can kind of give them like that cheat, and be like,
Mm-hmm.
you don't gotta do it this way. Do it this way, and then that learning curve is so much quicker when you have those quality veterans. So I'm right there with you when it comes to that.
And
And so,
think about it this way too. Think about like a company. Some of the most successful that people that I've known in business have been with companies for years and years and years, and they worked their way from the very bottom to the top. And a company that promotes from within the organization is very smart because they promote people that understand all facets of an organization. Going from, I worked for a manufacturer and they had people that got promoted from working in the shop to, customer
mhm.
service, then to management, then to senior management. And these were really successful people that brought so much to the table for the company because of their experience, not just the work that they put in, but the vision that they had, really buying into the vision of the company, and also participating in all facets of the organization from the ground up. And those are the people that are really succeed in a lot of companies.
Yeah, because they get to grow within the company and
Hmm.
really kind of like from the ground up. Having that background, that's when you're so well integrated that even if you're in a new position within the same company, you're able to go ahead and pick it up quicker because you already have that background. So I'm right
Right.
there with you when it comes to that. So I appreciate that. What was I gonna say? All right, also, man, we're just getting nothing but gems, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you hear right now from Nik Needham's mom, literally Nik Needham's mom, I need you guys to hit the like button for us, okay? Hit the like button. Let everybody else know we're live. Listen, I know that you guys, obviously, is the off season. We are all gonna be we're all on a wait and see essentially right now. But based on how the season ended, and from what you see as an outsider looking in, because you're kind of in that cool area of being a fan, but also a parent of the players. What do you see, like the overall, like the trajectory of the team? Like where do you see it now that we're going into year three with McDaniel, and this and the system? What do you see right now, and where do you see that trajectory going?
Oh, I see it as really, really positive. I see it going in the right direction, up. Um, as I mentioned before, the last 2 years have been successful. I mean, but you have to also understand, I came from watching Nick again go 0 and 12 and 1-11 his last 2 years in college. So I understand what it feels like to lose and be on a losing team. But I also understand now what it feels like to be on a winning team. And it takes time. It definitely takes time to put the right plan together, to get the right people together. I think they're doing that. I have the utmost confidence in Mike McDaniel. So much respect for him and how smart he is. I love being around smart people. I try to surround myself with really smart people. My dad, who's my biggest mentor, the guy is like a genius. He actually invented something, which is super cool. He's an engineer, and he invented the truss plate. You guys can look that up. It's something that was used for in building and construction in roofing, and
Cool.
he invented something. So super smart guy, smart enough that guys know who Warren Buffett is. That he ended up buying my dad's company. So that was pretty cool too for all of us. But um, I
Stop.
digress.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
no.
yeah. So
Really?
yeah,
That's so
so that was pretty
cool.
cool.
Oh my
I know. That's a little fun fact for everybody. But I say that to say I have been surrounded by a lot
God.
of really smart people, not just in my family, but I try to surround myself with really smart people because I've always considered myself the dummy of the group. And I learn so much from people that have it, that have that intellect, and I love being around them because it's so interesting. It's so interesting to be around people that use their brains and that have that analytical skill, and that are real critical thinkers. That they're not just looking at what's happening right this moment, but they're looking into the future and how things can play out. So I have the utmost respect for guys like Coach McDaniel, for being such a smarty, and also for his struggles that he's gone through. As most of you know, I am also one in recovery, and I know how that whole scenario affects a person and how they go to life after they've recovered, how they appreciate everything, how they want everything to be a success after that, how they want to be on a winning team, on a winning family, on a winning everything. You want to keep that momentum going. So I know that he not only has that intellectual drive, but he has that inner spirit that comes along with people, most people, I should say, that are in recovery that want something so much better than they had before. And that is something that you can't buy that. You just can't buy that. So I am very confident that this team is going in the best direction.
Thank God. Oh yeah, because as a fan, we've been up and down the roller coaster that is called the Miami Dolphins for the last 20 years. So it's kind of cool seeing that perspective too, and being able to kind of, see that it's not just us seeing, where we're at, and where we can continue to be and kind of grow from. So I like that. And I have to agree. I mean, McDaniel, he's his own person, definitely a different kind of head coach. But to me, at this point, I want stability. Like I need
Hmm.
stability in this team. Kind of like how the Steelers are, where they've had three head coaches in the last like 100 years. I'm like, I need some stability. I don't care if it's McDaniel. I don't care who it is. We need stability, in my opinion. And if it is McDaniel and we can keep him for the next 10 years, give him a shot to at least do something we've never done before, which is since Shula, having a head coach that's more than just into the coaching cycle. I'm all for it, and for me personally, I we want nothing but success. I don't care who gets me the Super Bowl. I just want a Super Bowl at the end of the day.
Yeah, I
But
mean, we
but
all
I
do.
that to me
We
is
all do.
obviously what matters. I don't. Can you? Oh, come on. Can you imagine that? Like, what would you do if we did ended up next year getting a Super Bowl and we were in Super Bowl row? What would you do? What would be your like celebration for that?
Oh man, I mean, well, hopefully I'll be on the with the team, not on the team obviously, but hopefully we'll still be a Dolphin. It'll be a huge celebration. Um, Gosh, I don't even know where to start. I know I'd lose my voice. I know I would hopefully survive it just physically without having a heart attack or something, just from all the excitement and my blood pressure going through the roof. But yeah, hopefully, if I survive it, let's just say that if I survive the event, yeah, it'll be a great day. It'll be a great celebration. I love one of my favorite things that I see is I love watching players celebrate their achievements. I love when a player makes a great play, and their teammates celebrate with them, and they're chest bumping, and bumping chests and doing all the things. I love seeing that, the joy and excitement that comes from success, from all their hard work. I love that. I also don't like. I will say this: I don't like showboaters that claim a certain achievement that was actually a given, a gimme. Don't celebrate that if it's not authentic. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm saying too much there, but I don't
Whatever
like
do
when
you
it's.
need?
And this goes with any team. I watch a lot of football, and I see
Put a
players out
name
there that
on it.
And no, I won't put a name on this, but I watch a lot of football with my dad too, especially now postseason. And he says the same thing all the time. Oh yeah, buddy, you did that all yourself. So that's always his comment after a player will celebrate something that really he shouldn't be taking credit for. So the celebrations of winning, the celebration and the excitement, these guys are like little kids. And I still, even though my son is this big ass man, 27, with a Taliban beard. Oh, I just wish he would get rid of the beard. I just, he's still my little boy. He's just like, if I see him smile and laugh, that brings so much joy to me. So I want to see the whole team and the fan base having that joy and that laughter and that excitement.
That's awesome. Yeah, we all wanted to. I think, man, I've been calling my bosses already know I'm taking the week off. Don't talk to me. Don't call me. I don't exist. I trust me. They know how much of a huge Dolphin. I mean, they don't know how much, like how much of a huge, but they know I'm a huge Dolphin fan. I already told them. I'm like, listen, we make the Super Bowl. I don't exist for a week. Don't
Yep.
call me. I don't care what's burning out there. I don't care what I nope. I do not exist. I will be celebrating with my team that we
Yep.
finally got the Super Bowl. Like that's what I
Yay.
will be doing because
Yeah.
it means so much, like oh my god, finally a Super Bowl all over again. Like it'd be so amazing. This is a football town, and getting another one. Oh my god! After 50 years would be like mwah, golden,
Yeah.
golden. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I know I don't want to take your time. I know it's like 5 o'clock in the
That's all
morning over
right.
there, or like 5:45 over there.
It's
So,
okay.
but I wanted to see what for us fans, and I'll close this out here for us fans. And first of all, before we go, because I still want to talk one last thing with you, and it's you guys' organization.
Hmm.
Let's go over that, and then I'm going to ask my last question. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have Nik and Shannon's charity right here. It is called For the Fam, for thefam.org. Go ahead and help them out. Check them out. It is a great nonprofit organization. They're dedicated to supporting and empowering the community through various programs and initiatives. Their mission is to make a positive impact and create a better future for all. And you can see Nik and his mom here, and it's for thefam.org, guys. So go ahead, check them out. They're also part of DCC, helping out, obviously, the community. If you guys can go ahead and support them, because we're all about giving back. We're all about, helping each other out. Because you never, and this is why I have this line. I love debates. I love people debating. But that's why I say debate the opinion, be kind to each other, because we don't know what people are going through, whatsoever. And being able to be kind to others, you never know, that person might actually just need that one act of kindness that would change their entire day. So definitely wanna encourage everybody. But
Thank
what
you.
what would you like to let everybody know about your charity, and then I'll close it out with my last question.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Thank you for that little plug. Yeah, our charity is really focused on helping youth with kind of spreading the message and bringing awareness to the dangers of drugs and alcohol in the community. We go and speak, especially Nik, on the off season, to local high schools and talk to them about the dangers of drugs and alcohol. Nik also shares his journey, his story of how he made it to the NFL, talks to the kids about all the challenges he went through during middle school and high school with bullying and social media and being an outcast and trying to fit in and smoking weed back then, and all the things that he went through that could have hindered his growth. But we share really raw stories between the two of us, and we do that throughout the community, which has been really well received. I participate in online panels for the same reason. In fact, I've got one at 10 a.m. this morning. I do a couple of those a week. And we also have a little side ministry. We go out and we feed the homeless in our community. I've got a golf cart which I drive around San Clemente, and I have it loaded up in the trunk with
Yeah.
blankets and clothing and just, necessities and food and stuff like that. We feed the homeless, clothe the homeless, and things like that. So any donations are appreciated, but just even more so than donations, I just appreciate prayers, because there's a lot of hurt out there, and we're just trying to help some people if we can.
That's beautiful. And guys, again, the website is 4D, the letter D. So the number four, letter D, FAM.org. 4dfam.org. And again, if you can tell, it's for the fam, obviously.
Yep,
So go ahead
40.
and check them out. Exactly. Check them out. Let's support them. Are you guys going to be here for a DCC? I know it's coming up this month.
Yeah, I am actually on one of the DCC teams. I'm on the worldwide team, and I'm really excited about that. However, as most of you know, I broke my
I was
tibia.
just gonna ask,
Ugh,
how's
it's a
that
nice.
going?
I'm still in a boot. I just saw my orthopedic yesterday. I had an MRI. I actually have a large edema inside my bone marrow, so it's taking a lot longer to heal than normal. So I don't know that I'll be able to actually physically participate in it, but definitely hoping to be there. Based on, it's all going to depend on my leg. I'm kind of just homebound right now. In fact,
Bring the golf cart. We'll have
I
you.
know
We'll have
that's a
you
good
riding.
idea. Or my electric bike. I have a Murph bike. I could bring that, I suppose. But yeah,
There you
um,
go.
we should be there. I'm
That's
looking forward to
awesome.
that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome. Well, there you go. So we'll get to go ahead and see you again. But and now to close out, and again, thank you so much for coming back, because I feel like the
of
fans,
course.
they love to get this like backstage, like, oh my God, we're like getting, like the locker room view, from a parent. It's super cool. Listen, I'm a little, I feel like a little kid every time. I'm so grateful. But for you, what would you say for anyone out there? Because we talked about this last time. Obviously, you already know about my brother, but any some of the young players, that are interested in kind of furthering their opportunities into perhaps making it into the NFL. Any last advice that you can tell them, so that way maybe a little nugget, so they can go ahead and maybe grow and go down the right path.
Absolutely. I get messages all the time asking me for little input and advice and stuff on this from people that have kids that are just now starting their journey. I guess my biggest suggestion is, when you see that your kid has a desire and a wish to be anything, whether it's a cook or a dancer or a football player or whatever, just be there to encourage that, support them, encourage them, praise them, help them in any way that you can to get them in the mix in that particular desire, that craft. And then the support, regardless of how many people tell you, oh, he's too small, he's not going to make it, he's not going to make it, he's too small, he's not fast enough. Do you know that the coaches at it was OU at Oklahoma, Nik had done a tryout for them, and Nik was running a 4.3 at that time. They said he was too slow. You're too
Oh,
slow.
4-3.
Yeah, you're
And
you're
he
too
was
slow. Yeah, you're too slow. You're too small. You're too this. You're too that. He broke the all-time record at UTEP for passes defended. All-time record at the college, all time, on this losing team. Um, don't ever let anybody else's commentary have an impact on the goals that your child has. Be supportive, be encouraging, and just know that anything's possible. They're if I had $1 for every time someone told me that Nik was not going to make it to the NFL, you know what his chances are to make it in the NFL? I'm like, why would I ever say that to him? Like, that's so stupid. But yeah, I know what the chances are, but I also know what his spirit is, and I know what my spirit is. So just be there for them. Be there for your kids. Do your research. Find out if you want to get them some special training. There's so many great coaches out there. Nik's been working with a private DB coach since he was like 10. The guy is awesome. His name's Mike Scott at Backpedal 101. This guy, that's all he does is work on footwork, backpedaling. That's it. He doesn't work on the passes defended, any of that stuff. It's just backpedaling. So there's a lot of specialists out there. You don't have to spend a lot of money either. But just encourage your kids, keep them healthy, pay attention to what they're doing in school and who the peers are, who the kids are that they're hanging out with. That has a huge impact too. You are the friends you keep. So surround yourself by winners, surround them with smart people, with smart kids and kids that have similar goals and aspirations, like Nik and his best friend. What are the chances of that? Nik and his best friend from high school have been in the NFL for 4+ years.
That's
I mean,
awesome.
it's pretty cool, but they have that same mindset. So mindsets definitely matter, and anybody can reach out to me if they have questions about it. I'm happy to give you that encouragement or direction. Whatever I can offer, I'm there for you. So I want to help.
That's awesome. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shannon Needham. Literally, we have the mom of one of our awesome babies. And the crowd goes wild. I love it.
Thank,
But thank you so much for coming again. You
of
have a
course.
wonderful day. Enjoy your weekend again. We appreciate it so much as fans because, again, it's just such a gem to have you here. And I appreciate it again for making the time to come here with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we hopefully, maybe we might see you again in the future.
I
So,
hope so. I hope so. All right, y'all. You guys have a great weekend. God bless.
take care. God bless.
Bye bye.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Oh my God. See, this is what you get with the little gems when you're here with Miss Fins. You're able to go ahead and do it. I got to see some of you guys' questions that was coming through. And I try to generalize most of them. But I appreciate you guys for coming through. If you are just getting in, thank you so much for coming through. Go ahead and hit that like button, guys, and subscribe. Start this puppy again because it was awesome from the beginning. You know what I mean? But this is what you get over here, guys, with Miss Fans. We're working a lot. It's a lot of work, guys. It is a lot of work, but it's so much fun to bring you all this, to give you guys this in-depth look, inside look. It's so much fun, and I appreciate everybody that supports the channel, guys. 100% free. Just hitting that like button and subscribing. We got a goal to get to 2,000 subscribers, guys. We are 1,245. We just need 5 more subscribers to get to 1,250. Let's go ahead and do that, guys, together, so that way we can continue to grow and then get from the next step to the next step to the next step. Next week, in literally 6 days, we're celebrating our year two, our second anniversary. So come have fun with us next week. We're going to continue to party and continue to have fun. Obviously, it is the week of the Pro Bowls. We all saw our boy. I don't think he did that bad either. I know he technically came in last, but I think he actually did pretty well. So that was fun. We'll recap all that on Monday. But guys, again, this is Miss Fins. I'm Miss Fins. We just had a great conversation with Shannon Needham, Miss Needham, Nik Needham's mom, number 40 from our team. I appreciate all you guys for coming through again. Hit that like button, guys. Subscribe. Everybody on Twitter and Twitch, thank you so much for coming through. I appreciate you so much. And again, bye-bye. Wait. Bye-bye.